Do you ever wonder why people follow the crowd? Sometimes it does make sense to me. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to me. And other times, I just wonder what they see. Has anyone noticed the pattern that one person would find a way that works for them, then tells other people, probably does a YouTube video or publishes an article regarding that thing, and then the word spreads and everyone gets interested, everyone wants to know how to do the same thing to achieve the same results. And then usually you will work for the early birds, and the ones that come a bit later would not probably get the same opportunity to get the same result because now that thing is overly crowded and there is no longer room for everyone to thrive in it. Hmm. Most times in life, we find people that we share similar experiences with, similar struggles. But what we fail to notice is that in most cases, our circumstances and our situations are usually different from the other person's situation and circumstances. Like, I can relate to you, but I can never be you. We may also take similar steps, but the results in most cases might never be the same. Following the crowd has its positives, but it also has more negatives if you pay attention to it. Yes, if you follow the crowd, there is a possibility that things might turn out fine for you, but without proper analysis on how following the same step as the crowd might affect you, you might actually be setting yourself up for a possible disaster that you're not aware of. Most times, when people follow the crowd, it feels like there is a shiny object that everyone wants a piece of without properly analyzing how having that piece of that shiny object might affect our lives. According to Albert Einstein, the person who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The person who walks alone is likely to find himself in places no one has ever seen before.
I do believe one of the reasons people would follow the crowd is because of lack of direction. From where I'm coming from, most people don't have like that clear direction of what they want to do in life. It's always this preconceived notion or what our parents want us to do. Oh, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be this. So they don't really have that say. Hence the reason why most people follow the crowd in that regard. Also, it could also be peer pressure as well. Like, probably maybe this person is doing well in this field or whatnot, and you want to do the same, and you might not really have the mental capacity to do what that person is doing in that particular field. So yeah.
I think it would be helpful if you would take out time to know yourself, understand your values, know things you like, things you don't like, understand your beliefs as well as your preference. Knowing yourself can help you know what you want rather than going with what everyone else is doing, if that makes sense. Reflect on what matters most to you and what makes you unique. Number two, build self-confidence. In order to build self-confidence, you can try this by setting personal small goals and trying your best to achieve those goals. I feel like if you're able to achieve the goals that you set for yourself, it helps to boost your confidence to a certain degree. One thing about confidence is that it helps you trust yourself better and trust your own judgment rather than relying on other people's judgment. Number three, practice critical thinking. By doing this, you will be able to analyze every decision or every option that presents itself to you, every opportunity that presents itself to you. You'll be able to think about it critically and know if it best suits you or not. Take some time to ask yourself why people are doing this thing that they are doing, and if it aligns with you, if it aligns with your values, and if it aligns with your beliefs. Number four, learn to say no. Sometimes it's just best to say no when you know it's not the best decision for you, it's not the best thing for you to do. It's okay to say no. You don't have to feel pressure to say yes. You don't really have to take the opinions of people. Everyone can only advise you, but you don't have to take the advice, right? So learn to say no and go for things that you would want to go for instead. Number five, surround yourself with supportive people. Now, you don't need people that if they give you an opinion and you don't take that opinion, then they get upset about the fact that you didn't take their opinion. You need people that would encourage you and support you. If you feel like what you want to do is the best decision for you, you need people around you who will say, yes, I support you, I think this will go well, and push you forward rather than people that will discourage you. So yeah, mind the people that are around you and surround yourself with people that would encourage you rather than discourage you. Number six, embrace discomfort. Sometimes the decisions we take might feel uncomfortable for some time, but eventually would settle out, right? You would never be uncomfortable forever. Sometimes it's just part of life. So even if you are the different one or you are the odd one out, like try to embrace that discomfort for a while. I'm sure you don't want to do that thing for a reason and it will make sense to you eventually. So learn to kind of like embrace the fact that you are not following the crowd and rather you are staying true to yourself and true to what you think that is best for you. Number seven, educate yourself. The more knowledge you get, the more information you get, the more easier it is for you to make informed decision and not follow the crowd. So spend some time learning more and educating yourself about certain things before you make a decision. Don't follow the crowd. If the crowd's doing one thing, learn to kind of take time on your own and research about it and educate yourself about it. Number eight, set boundaries. I think it will be very helpful if you can identify people that are very opinionated and want you to follow their own opinions and kind of like set clear boundaries with them firmly but nicely to leave you alone. If that makes sense. At the end of the day, you are the boss of you. You will take responsibility for every decision you make, and if someone forces their opinion on you and the outcome eventually turns out in your failure, they won't take responsibility for that. It will be on you who decided to do that in the first place. So take note of those people and put them in their place nicely.
Well, do you, be you, try and reflect, look at things you could do on your own, like look at your core strengths and think about your hobbies, things that make you happy. And I believe from there on, you'll be able to understand where you want to go, your direction in life. So yeah, that's my advice for people that are following the crowd.
One thing to remember is that everyone has their own lives to live. Everyone has their own stories to tell. For the fact that it worked for others doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. Why don't you take the pen and write your own story that is free from comparisons? Do it for you, not because everyone else is doing it.